Obito and Konan had a massive fight against each other, with Obito coming on top after he outsmarted Konan by using izanagi to save himself. Now, you might wonder who Sharingan Obito used to replace the Sharingan he had. Has he given his earlier ones to Kakashi? And that is the question we will be answering today. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. After Obito was left for dead when a rock crushed him during the attack by Iwagakure, shinobi Madara Uchiha saved him and brought him back to life while indoctrinating him about how cruel the world is. At first, he refused to be swayed, but after witnessing the death of his love Rin Nobara at the hands of his good friend Kakashi, Obito then became disillusioned by the world and wanted to create a new world without suffering. Madara revealed his Eye of the Moon plan to Obito, describing a vision where the current world of conflict and mortality would be replaced with a peaceful existence where nobody would ever have to experience death. This idea fascinated Obito, and he became resolute in his desire to bring about a reality where he, Rin, and Kakashi could coexist harmoniously. Seeing that Obito had agreed to his plans, Madara then shared all his knowledge and plans with Obito, taught him necessary abilities for the future, gave him his possessions, and created Black Zetsu to be Obito's guide. After transferring most of his possessions and responsibilities, Madara severed his connection to the demonic statue that kept him alive. He then instructed Obito to assume the role of Madara Uchiha until Madara's eventual revival. Using Madara's identity and concealing his face with masks, Obito went to Iwagakure to meet the growing group called Akatsuki, and this was his first encounter with Konan, Yahiko, and Nagato. Although his major concern was to get the Rinnegan eyes that was given to Nagato some years back by Madara. Yahiko initially disagreed on working with Obito to achieve peace with Akatsuki, but Yahiko later died, all thanks to the conspiracy between Hanzo and Danzo Shimura. Obito then started to work together with Nagato, who became the pseudo-head of Akatsuki and changed his name to Tobi as an alias. The goal of the Akatsuki changed to capturing tailed beasts and recruiting missing nins of various villages into their organization. Years later, after the defeat of the Six Paths of Pain by Naruto, Nagato died trying to revive the people of Konohagakure he had killed with Rin Rebirth Jutsu. Konan ended up buying him in an enclosed place. In a bid to regain the Rinnegan back, Obito had to face Konan in battle because she refused to give him the eyes of Nagato as he was desecrating the body and she knew he wasn't who he claimed to be. The battle occurred in episode 253 of Naruto Shippuden and is titled The Bridge to Peace. In a dramatic showdown, Konan cunningly ensnares Tobi with a vast chasm formed by her powerful paper person of God technique. Confident in her strategy, she taunts Tobi, reminding him that she had diligently observed and analyzed his abilities during their time as comrades. She reveals her trump card, Tobi's Kamui ability, which allows him to teleport through dimensions, has a time limit of 5 minutes. To exploit this weakness, she has rigged her sheets of paper with explosive tags that are set to detonate for a continuous 10 minutes. However, to Konan's astonishment, Tobi unveils a hidden Sharingan eye within his left eye socket. With this newfound power, he employs this mysterious technique known as izanagi, causing him to materialize behind Konan just as she believed she had successfully eliminated him. Without hesitation, he impales her from behind with a sharp metal rod, her disbelief and agony evident as she gasps for answers. In a rare moment of reflection, Konan musters the strength to inquire about Tobi's true identity and the miraculous survival he has just demonstrated. Recognizing her contribution to the Eye of the Moon plan during her time with the notorious organization Akatsuki, Tobi decides to grant her a favor. He unveils the enigmatic nature of izanagi, drawing a parallel to the legendary Sage of Six Paths creation of all things technique. With conviction, he proclaims himself to be the one and only Madara Uchiha, the self-proclaimed second Sage of Six Paths. Konan musters the strength to remove herself from the impaling rod, painfully struggling to stay on her feet. As she limps away, a sudden realization dawns upon her. The perpetual rain that shrouded the village of Iwagakure has mysteriously ceased. Tobi, bewildered by the abrupt change in weather, wonders how such a constant downpour could come to an end. Meanwhile, Konan's gaze is drawn to a radiant rainbow stretching across the sky. The vibrant colors evoke memories of Yahiko, a dear friend who once confided in her disdain for the rain. likening it to the village's tears. Filled with an indomitable resolve, Konan turns to face Tobi, her voice unwavering as she declares that the spirits of Nagato and Yahiko lend her their strength. In that moment, she affirms her belief that Naruto, the indomitable ninja, is the true harbinger of peace. With a swift motion, Konan molds a litho paper chakram and hurls it towards Tobi. Despite her grievous injuries, Tobi, now reduced to fighting with only one eye and a single arm, musters his remaining strength to surpass her defenses, chokes her, placing her within a genjutsu to find out Nagato's whereabouts as she passes away from her wounds. Having seen how Obito lost his eye to Izanagi, let's talk a little about what Izanagi is and why he couldn't use the eye afterwards. The Izanagi is rooted in the concept of the creation of all things, a potent technique employed by Hagoromo Otsutsuki to generate existence from nothingness and grant it vitality. By harnessing the power of being released, the Izanagi enables its user to manifest form from emptiness, and through the utilization of yang release, they can imbue life into the newly formed reality. This grants the user near invincibility for the duration of the Izanagi's activation. Typically, the Izanagi is employed as a defensive measure to safeguard the user against death. It achieves this by granting them the ability to manipulate the circumstances surrounding their demise, effectively reshaping reality to create an alternate version where they remained alive. The Izanagi, a powerful technique originating from the Uchiha clan, possesses a crucial dependency on Ashura's lineage power to be sustained for extended periods. This dependency led Danzo, a character in the Naruto series, to implant himself with the Senju clan's power. Despite its potency, the Izanagi remains a forbidden jutsu due to its inherent risks and consequences. Its usage exacts a tremendous toll by draining the light from the eye that employs it. In order to restore the lost radiance and functionality of the affected eye, the only known way would be to awaken the legendary Rinnegan, a coveted ocular ability possessed by only a few. And this was the case for Obito, as he had given out his other eye to Kakashi, initially leaving him with only one Sharingan, which he lost in his fight with Konan. He replaced with Nagato's Rinnegan. It is important to note that the Rinnegan eye which Obito used to replace his lost Sharingan eye initially belonged to Madara, as he was the one who had awakened it before his death, but in order to keep it at a safe place, he transferred it to Nagato when he was still younger and he grew up with it. However, this was to be used to later revive him, as the plan was to make Nagato use Rinne Rebirth Jutsu to revive him, but Nagato had gone ahead to use it for the people of Konohagakure. Interestingly, Obito's physical condition struggled to withstand the immense power of both Rinnegan, prompting him to implant only one eye within himself. Nevertheless, Obito's utilization of this single Rinnegan proved to be highly formidable. It's also important to note that during the fight after his mask was broken, he was impaling Konan with a pole. We see that Obito actually had two Sharingan eyes while one had been lost to Izanagi. So to answer our question on whose eye did Obito use in his fight against Konan, the answer is simply his own eyes, because if we recall what we stated earlier, Obito had given just one of his Sharingan eyes as a gift to Kakashi to celebrate him becoming a Jonin. However, the second eye that was supposed to be crushed by the rock didn't actually get destroyed. And why is that? There is no actual reason given. It was stated that Madara managed to save his eye. It was also half implied that his Mangekyo was awakened for a brief moment and allowed him to slip through the rocks. Madara said something similar to that when Obito awoke for the first time. We can also look at it as a plot hole. If you think that the Mangekyo was awakened for a moment, since we saw when he really awakened the Mangekyo, it may be a healing technique that Madara used to save just Obito's right eye, not his entire body. But I can't really imagine his Sharingan being the savior, because in that case, Obito could have managed to slip through the rock with his entire right part of his body. There's also a theory that Obito didn't use his original Sharingan for Izanagi, but instead he used the Sharingan of the left eye. This may have been the Sharingan of Shisui, and we can say this because after Sasuke defeated Danzo, Tobi used Kamui to take away Danzo's body and kept it with him, saying he has something to do with it. While some fans argue that Danzo used up all the eyes on his arm to perform Izanagi, simply indicates that all the eyes have lost their light. So, Obito couldn't have actually taken hold of Shisui's eye to replace his second eye that he gave to Kakashi. Even after Sasuke's eyes lost their light due to the constant usage, we see Obito taking Sasuke to his lair and giving him Itachi's eyes. And in that particular scene, we see lots of Sharingan eyes that Obito was in possession. So we can also argue and say that he has been in possession of multiple Sharingan eyes, which he must have used to replace his eye he lost as a boy due to the falling of the rock. And oh well, it could be that Kishimoto didn't know what exactly to use to explain Obito's right eye and he decided to just leave it be without any form of explanation, making it to be wrapped in mystery, leaving us fans to keep asking the question. What do you think about these theories? Do let us know in the comment section below, and thank you for watching.